booster juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local booster juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuckwagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's just after 11 o'clock. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Go check them out. Tell them we sent you. Grab a nice little snack for the weekend. You're going to watch some playoff basketball or hockey. Maybe you're going to tune into the Elks game as they kick off their preseason. Golf, baseball. Blue Jays taking on the Pirates after winning 2 straight against the Yankees. Scoring 4 runs in 2 games and finding a way to win. That's Blue Jays baseball, maybe. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, and Josh Fenwick with you here in the Sports 1440 studios. Thank you for joining us, however you might be doing so, whether it's on the AM dial, iHeartRadio, our website, tune in, Radio Player Canada, or watching us on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, or Twitch. We appreciate it. Hit that like button if you're able to do so. On the show today, lots to look at right now. As I mentioned, all the things you can watch, we'll discuss. And we'd love your feedback as well. 1-833-401-1440. Or email us, Connor, Brandon, Josh at sports1440.com. Duke, good morning. It is your Friday. You're just about done. How you feeling?
Well, it's my Friday. It's everyone's Friday.
Well,
because it is Friday.
For some of us, the grind doesn't stop.
Well, some of us just work first half of the day, others half the second half. And then, people with quote-unquote real jobs, they actually work the full day.
Yeah.
So consider ourselves fortunate in that regard. No, yeah, I'm feeling good. Looks to be a beautiful afternoon. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of it in a way that I'd maybe prefer, go out and hit the links or anything like that. But I could definitely envision myself getting out on the patio in the lawn chair this afternoon once I get home, cracking a cold drink, maybe getting some dogs grilling on the barbecue, at least trick myself into thinking that I'm happier than I actually am, given my current physical limitations. So should be a great weekend. Weather's looking much more pleasant than it was a week ago over the Victoria Day long weekend, or May long if you prefer.
Yeah, today, I don't mind this. It's a little cloudy. We can handle that. It's better than rainy and snowy. So should be a good little weekend upcoming. Elks in action, as we mentioned. They'll take on the BC Lions tomorrow. The depth chart was released. Cody Fajardo, QB1, followed by Powell, Snyder, Zebrowski. I don't know how much they're going to play, but a change in philosophy. Looks like they will be starting a lot of starters, getting them some time out there, which I think is great. We're seeing that happen in the NFL as well, where, for a brief period, no starters would play. Teams are like, okay, we actually need these reps. We need to get the timing against the other teams, take some real bumps, and go from there. So Fajardo going to start. The running back, maybe not as important, maybe for the road game. Isaiah Knight's going to get this start, followed by Baker Appel on the depth chart. Your offensive line, left to right: Bordner, O'Donnell, Beard, Woodmansey, Murray. I'm very intrigued by the guard combination, but in particular, Woodmansey. Paid a lot of money to bring him over here. I think the interior of the Edmonton Elks offensive line is going to be quite solid here. And, whether it's Beard or Corte, you got some depth there at the center position. It's going to be a lot of fun on the back end defensively. Kind of the standard we're expecting. Nick Anderson's going to get this start there. There's a little bit of a debate amongst Elks fans who might be the middle linebacker, but I think Anderson will hold it down. And then, you have some flexibility when you change things up. Duke, if I were to ask you position group, because I asked Gregor this in 5 questions, which position group intrigues you the most going into week 1 of the preseason?
Well, it's interesting you asked that. It's a topic we broached on the morning show, right? The sort of training camp, actually. So it was going into camp, which position group intrigued you the most? And I think I excluded the offensive line spot because it seemed like a pretty obvious number one when you look at some of the big name players that were brought in out of the offseason, or obviously O'Donnell coming halfway through last year. The battle at the center spot between a couple real savvy vets in Cordy and Beard. I'm interested to see how that plays out in preseason for sure. But I'll be honest, Connor, it's just my small brain, my fantasy football mind. I'm always drawn to the offensive side of the ball and the skill position players. So 21 wide receivers come into camp. We know that got trimmed down substantially, in short order, 5 guys being cut after I think it was just the second day or something. But outside of, the number one guy, and maybe you could say Keon Julian Grant, who's a veteran player on this group as well. After that, it's pretty up in the air. There's lots to be determined about who can carve themselves out a role on the offense, who's going to be a spot guy. Special teams, of course, will be a big opportunity for some of these players. So I'll go with the wide receiver group, even if it's maybe a little chalky and very narrow-minded of me.
Well, it's funny because you said like 21, they cut it down to 16. I think now it's at 15 or 14. Like the competition there is still thick. So it is a big one. And I imagine, with, the roster you have going out there, I think there's going to be a lot of balls thrown to try to get that down. I'm looking at the quarterback specifically. I know Cody Fajardo's cute quarterback 1. He's kind of clear cut, I think, at this point. But Powell, Snyder, a couple Eastern Michigan guys. I'm intrigued to see what they can do. You've got to have a good backup quarterback in the CFL. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, quarterbacks do get hurt. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But I'm intrigued to see what they can do. Fajardo, see if they can stretch the field a little bit more as well. Should be fun, and you can watch that one online. That's always a perk for sure. Text. This came in later on in the Kevin Carrier show. Perhaps the Duke can volunteer for ladies' night at Mill Woods. You could be the beer boy.
Beer boy, starter, marshal. Any of these things I think could suit my talents.
My guy Duke is not volunteering. He will be compensated financially.
I'll be fine to be compensated in other ways. But financially works. It's the simplest form, I suppose. But if you just roll me out there with the free will at the cooler, if I'm driving around the beer cart or whatever the case, chance to chop it up with some fine ladies, I think I'd have myself a fine afternoon.
I kind of think you would too. I think you might thrive in that situation. Speaking of thriving, how about Canada earlier today after yesterday's scare from Norway winning in overtime? They handled their business against Slovenia. I don't know.
The Slovenian team beat the Czechs earlier this week. So
yeah, well, I heard you and Laddie talking about the Czechs, kind of up and down tourney. But 3-0, and you know what? I guess Dylan Cousins would say,
a household name.
A household name, but Denton Matejchuk and Emmett Finney getting it on the score sheet? That ain't bad. How about Darnell Nurse's pass?
Emmett Finney, what a story. The past year, 30-year-old making his NHL debut after playing his trade in the minors forever. He was with Detroit and now getting a chance to represent his country at the World Championship, scoring a goal there. Really cool story for him.
Must have been awesome to get that call. To go represent his country.
You have to think so.
Did you see the Darnell Nurse pass to Dylan Cousins?
I did.
What a
pretty slick.
If you'd missed it, go check it out. Darnell Nurse stick breaks on the play. The puck was barely moving. Go through Dylan Cousins.
Like you drew it up.
Buries it. But I think Darnell Nurse's stick flying 15 feet through the air actually might have provided a bit of a distraction.
Whoa, what's that?
It really flew. Crosby to Nurse. Cousins buries it, and Canada now, hey, they'll take it. Also today, you had Germany beating Hungary 6-2. Not hungry enough, eh, Duke?
I suppose not.
Tomorrow, U.S. Latvia. You got Slovenia taking on Denmark. It's kind of some of these countries here you're not expecting much from, but then they give you a pretty good effort, and the game is growing.
Well,
globally.
like even just look at Italy. I mean, they obviously were at the Olympics this year as the host nation, put up some pretty good fights against much higher caliber opponents, and then they're 0-4 once again here at the World Championships. Goals for 2 goals against 17 doesn't inspire a ton of confidence. But if you actually watch them play, and maybe it's just purely on the fact that they've gotten really good goaltending. 17 goals against in 4 games wouldn't necessarily be indicative of that, but this is where box score doesn't tell the whole story, because Damian Clara, I'm biased, he's an Anaheim Ducks prospect in the system. He was really good at the Olympics, held that team in games at times, and he's been really good again so far in this tournament. So it's at least worth tuning into to see, even if it is just 1 or 2 players from each respective club, try and make a name for themselves and stand out a little bit. Maybe that's not necessarily the case with Great Britain, which I'm kind of surprised to see at this tournament, but they obviously played their way in through promotion, so all the power to them.
You got the host Swiss 5-0. They'll get Hungary tomorrow.
The Swiss, back-to-back silver medals. Always a really good team in these international tournaments because of, it's not like they got some high-end NHL guys, for sure. But then it's all the Euros that play. Maybe they play together on some club teams, or they're just familiar with each other, from the national program. They're always a tough out, no matter what. And that's on full display. They probably want to win some gold medals on home ice. I think that'd be pretty slick for them.
You know what? If U.S. loses to Latvia, and Latvia will be hungry because they're trying to qualify for the next round, Swiss could fall intentionally to Hungary, and then they could jump the United States. The U.S. Olympic gold medalists in 4 games played have 1 regulation win, Duke.
It's not ideal.
Not great. They have an overtime win and 2 losses, but the U.S. Kind of right on the cusp. Canada in Group B atop, tied with Slovakia. The Czechs right there as well. And Sweden right now sitting on the outside, but I believe they can find their way back into this one. I'm glad to see us talking about this tournament.
Evan Bouchard's been very good.
Has he?
Yes.
You had a chance to watch like every game.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm not watching it dedicated wise because it's happening during the show and still have some other responsibilities to adhere to. But yeah, 3 assists yesterday. I don't think he's been on for a goal against in the tournament. Yeah, he's been quite effective for the Maple Leaf.
It's good to see. I'm thinking he's going to be with this group at the next Olympic Games and maybe 2028. That's just how I see it.
The World Cup.
Yeah. Mark says, good morning, guys. Simple question. Does Keith Gretzky get the Nashville GM job? I'm going to say no. I'll take the field on that one. I haven't even heard much. Maybe I missed it that he had been getting interviews. I think Bill Scott was getting more looks in terms of interviews, the Oilers' other assistant GM. But I'm going to say no, Duke. Yes or no answer. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you, Connor, where I haven't really seen that pop up as a name that's being considered for the job, but that doesn't mean much because I don't run in those circles necessarily. So unless one of the big dogs is tweeting it, there's a good chance I'm unaware of it.
Trev says, guys, what are the top 3 stadiums that you would want to visit for an NFL game? I know my number one.
NFL game?
NFL game. For me, number 1 is Lambeau. I would love to go see a game in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
The frozen tundra. What time of year would you like to go? Playoff game?
Primetime game in September.
Yeah, that might be fun.
A nice night in the Midwest.
You don't want the full experience?
No, I don't. I live in the full experience. I don't need to go see it. I think I'd like to go see a nice game there.
See an Elks game in November and get the same idea.
I had season tickets for Eskimos games for about a decade, and I sat on plenty of Friday night games at 7:30 in October.
Mm-hmm.
Layer up, have a couple drinks, you'll be okay.
Do you ever Vaseline yourself up?
Never did.
Do you ever bring cardboard to stand on?
Sit on or stand on?
Stand on.
Negative. Why would I do that?
Because it insulates you from the floor.
Do I have to carry it around with me?
I think you just bring it in and then leave it there.
No, I just would be a cool guy, like in my early 20s, wearing my
You'd be out
skate shoes.
It's already been documented on this program that Connor was the guy in high school that's like minus 20 outside and he just shows up wearing his shorts still. It's not even that cold outside.
That was not me.
Hashtag shorts guy.
I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy. Okay, number 2. I think I would like to go see a game in Jerry's World just to say I've been there. I don't want to be those guys that are running in to get their free seats or whatever it is. That's madness to me.
The mad dash.
I want to sit somewhere and, I think Chicago would be cool. Soldier Field. I guess those would be my top 3. I'm not going to say the Chargers SoFi because that would be very cool too, but I'll take that one out of it. I guess those would be my top 3. 2 with a little bit of history and then 1 that's just a mecca.
Sick.
What do you got?
Well, I think Lambeau's a great choice. And even you hear, I've listened to quite a bit of media out of like even Chicago, right? The historic rival Bears, and even Bears fans admit it is different to go see a game at Lambeau Field. So I'll put that on my list as well. I've never been to an NFL game, so I'm not going to take the personal element out. I would love to go see a game at NRG Stadium in Houston, watch my favorite team play at home. It's a pretty good environment. You know, Texas is crazy for football, even if they're not the Cowboys fans. So that would be pretty slick. And then Jacksonville. I want to go in the pool.
Aren't they playing in Orlando this year or something?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I changed my mind. I want to go see a NFL game at Wembley.
Oh, yeah.
Overseas. No, probably, and I get it. They're playing in the new stadium this year, I think, right? Starting in this fall at Orchard Park, the new Bills Stadium. Just to go for the tailgate experience and stuff with Bills Mafia, I think would be really cool.
Like there's some fields would have no desire to go to. Like I don't want to go see a Bengals game. Sorry, Josh.
Do you want to go see a game in Carolina?
Nope. No desire.
Panthers.
I don't want to go see a game in Washington.
You don't want to meet Sir Purr?
Nope. Well, I'd love to, but for this purpose, no. Buffalo's one. I wish I could have gone to the old stadium. I'd love to go see a game in Minnesota. Get in the clap.
Right.
You know, even though I'd be wearing the wrong colors in all likelihood. How about, would you go to a game at Hard Rock?
Would I?
You'd be sweating like crazy.
It depends. You guys got to pick the right side of the stadium, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Pick the home sideline. That's in the shade for most of those day games.
How about Levi Stadium?
Yeah, I'd go to a game there for sure.
Cleveland?
Hey, here's the thing. I'm not sure there's any places I wouldn't go to a game, but I think it is a different conversation to say, you know, a dream list or something like that, as opposed to just getting the chance to go to an NFL game. Because like I said, I've never been.
Mm-hmm. Like I went to Raymond James. I probably wouldn't have went out of my way. Yeah, I guess I did technically go out of my way to go see it. I went to Tampa. It was cool though. I think Allegiant Stadium in Vegas would be an experience. Like I would hate it, and I'd be probably bankrupt because I know the tickets are crazy expensive, but it'd be fun like to have a couple of night outs in Vegas, and then all of a sudden you wake up Sunday and just head down to the tailgate. Lumen Field in Seattle. Is it still Lumen Field? That'd be great.
I think so.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of good spots. So I know that previously we got a text, and I think it was actually from Trev going to the game. There's lots of good options.
And if I'm being really frank with you, Connor, like the NFL thing, I'll be honest, it kind of seems like it would be pretty universal for the most part. If I was building like a dream list of places to see a football game, I think it would be all college football stadiums ahead of NFL ones, which is, we've talked about this plenty of times before, but it's almost a timeless conversation because places like Death Valley in Baton Rouge, you know, going to Beaver Stadium, the Big House, Tennessee at Rocky Top, Wisconsin doing jump around. Like there's so many cool elements of college football that they are unique to themselves as opposed to the NFL, where there are some unique elements for sure, but I don't think to the same extent like we see in NCAA.
It's cool because you have like the traditions, like you said, like jump around, or you know, enter Sandman at Virginia Tech, but then you'd also have a game like Michigan where the Big House would just be so cool. Florida State getting to do the, I don't know, tomahawk chop, is that what they call it? I think there's like a ton of cool things. Like, yeah, college football would absolutely be awesome. Stoney Jim said my one and only NFL game was in New Orleans. It was so much fun. Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's a great town.
Well, it's like, yeah, just to visit New Orleans and get the experience of the city, and then also be like, yeah, I'm going to go to a Saints game too. Yeah, I think you could do a lot worse when it comes to 32 homes of NFL teams.
Todd says, I think going to a Friday night game in high school Texas would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I played in a Friday night game in high school California.
And I bet you guys were great.
We got stomped, but it was cool. Like, that's California. And it was like, buddy, we rolled into the parking lot. All we saw was like Mercedes, Lexus, and these were the student parking lot. It was, I think, kind of a well off school, and like their fitness facility. And this is 2004. Like, it was unbelievable. We got stomped. They're really good. I couldn't imagine Texas, Todd. I think that'd be a lot of fun as well. B said, took my son, who's a huge Steelers fan, to a game there in 2017. They were playing the Giants with Eli and Odell. It was crying all night, but an incredible fan experience. Oh yeah. Renegade at the end of the third quarter, dude.
Awesome.
You kidding me?
When they did Renegade at the draft, I was amped.
Yeah.
I was pumped.
It almost, I think at this point, works against them because other teams get so jazzed up for it. I know, like, there was a game a couple years ago, the Chargers beat them Sunday nighter, I think. They said it, like, they were down going into the fourth, but Renegade got them all fired up. It's great. The real Duke just texted in and said, BD, best wishes on your knee rebuild. Did you went and got the scan yesterday?
An ultrasound. Yeah.
Well, what do we hear?
First time ever. I don't know. They don't tell you anything. They just do it and then say, yeah, you'll hear from your doctor in a couple days. So probably next week, I would guess.
Fingers crossed.
And actually, I shouldn't say that they don't say anything because she did, as she was, rubbing the wand, I guess you would call it, all over and around my knee. She's like, oh, there's a lot of fluid in here. And I'm just like, well, yeah, I kind of think I knew that. She's like, oh, yeah, it's very common after a trauma on the joint. I was like, oh, good.
Great.
Which, like I said, I knew. I've torn the other ACL 2 different times. So this is not an unfamiliar process. Oh, despite the fact I have never gotten an ultrasound, I just went straight to MRI both previous times.
Book them for surgery. Get them under the knife.
I'll be honest, Connor, even if the diagnosis is as bad, worst case scenario here, which would, I think, be
amputation,
a torn ACL, I have a hard time seeing myself getting surgery again. I did it the one time, and it's pretty intensive, the recovery. You're laid up pretty bad for a while and painful. Yeah. I've gone without an ACL in my right knee for a few years now. It's not ideal, but you can get by. I mean, especially now that my day-to-day job isn't particularly physically demanding. If I was still farming or working a more exhaustive gig, then maybe I'd have a different story to tell.
Oh, that's true. We do a lot of sitting here. We'll take a break. We really got rolling on like cities we want to go to and such, and time just flew by. You can keep those coming in. That was a good question from Trev. Top 3 NFL stadiums. Look, we'll go football stadiums you'd like to go see. 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
New at Papa John's, the spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for 2. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all 7s. Go Auto, get in the game.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at usedcarwash.com.
I'm good to go. Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly. Guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next nice day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day Service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include drought fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:28. Welcome back. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. We're just talking about funny fails. I don't know what we're watching right now, Duke. It's like the worst fails of all time in sports, misplays of the life. And I just thought of a really funny one where a girl is hopping the fence at like a high school football game, and then she falls. And then when she gets up, she gets hit by a sprinkler and it puts her right back down. I just sent it to you guys for your viewing pleasure. It's one of the best ones you're going to see. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc. Connor Halley, Brendan Douglas, and Josh Fenwick with you. Duke, you're laughing. Are you watching J.R. Smith here?
It's like, I don't know, it's like kismet, because I felt like we were just talking about this yesterday. The play, Cavaliers v. Warriors, where J.R. Smith just brain turns off and LeBron James gets a little frustrated with him in real time. So, yeah, this is number 2 on this misplays list. Pretty good.
I don't often have a situation where I'm like
yelling at the TV.
Well, I knew better than a pro athlete, but when he did that, I was like, what? Even I knew the situation which was going on.
And number 1 misplay, the iconic butt fumble. People forget Mark Sanchez was actually pretty good.
2 straight AFC championships on the back of kind of Thomas Davis in that defense, and then LT.
Who was which Ryan brothers coach that team?
Rex
has.
Is
he the foot guy?
Foot guy has his wife has a tattoo of a Mark Sanchez jersey or something.
Loves Mark Sanchez.
Yeah. Any update on him?
No.
It's a good question. Gone to court or anything like that? Kind of a bad update. This segment for elksnation.ca. 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger breaking down the green and gold. But it's not just that. There's articles and more. Go check it out, elksnation.ca. I think they'll be doing some ticket giveaways as well as the season rolls on. Pay them a little visit. We go back into the inbox, 1-833-401-1440. Bearcat99 says, go to Dallas even if you hate the Cowboys and take the tour. They leave you on field and you can throw the football around all you want. It's pretty cool, and I hate the Cowboys. That's awesome. Like, I don't hate the Cowboys, and I would go do that for sure. Like, yeah, I'd probably put that at number 2 for stadiums I'd like to go check out behind Lambeau. Because it's a monstrosity. I remember when it was first built, and I think it was Martellus Bennett, the tight end, was playing video games on the big screen. Like, that would be pretty cool.
I think my favorite part of Cowboy Stadium is the sun coming through the windows, and they can close the curtains because they do for like concerts and stuff, but they just refuse to when the Cowboys play.
Yeah.
And it's had an impact on games and stuff where the sun's in guys' eyes. And then the all-time clip of what Jerry's saying, like, we don't need to do that. And then the screenshot of him squinting at the sun, watching the game from his own owner's box.
Yeah. What was the old stadium? Was it called Texas Stadium? And it had the hole in the roof so
Right.
God could watch his favorite team, I think they said. Tore it down, obviously. That was a good one too, though. But yeah, it is funny when, like, crucial moment in the game, that sun just peeks through. Like clockwork. It's always going to happen. Patty and Spruce says, not NFL, but I do want to go to Virginia Tech just to see the walkout. Enter Sandman.
Oh, yeah.
I transferred there in my college football game just to see what it looked like.
And to live up to the hype in
Doesn't
video
disappoint.
game world.
Oh, yeah. They play the music. At Penn State, they play Zombie Nation. Is that what it is?
I think so.
It's pretty accurate. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Like a night game for sure would be awesome. Gus in the Hood said, I did go to a Virginia Tech game and nothing else compares to that atmosphere. I don't know how I would get down there. I need an excuse to go see it. Or just go do it, I suppose. What else is in Virginia, Duke?
Hard to say.
What else can one do in
Find some really probably pretty good crystal meth out in the backwoods.
Bloxburg, Virginia?
That's where VT is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Hokies.
Where's Gettysburg?
It's in Pennsylvania.
Okay, well, that's a bit of a trek. I don't know what else I would do there. I suppose just hang around.
Well, in West Virginia is Wheeling, which is home of the Nailers, which is an ECHL hockey team.
Okay. Because I could do that. I don't think I'm going to go. I think that's just one of those things I'll never do.
But always say you want to.
But I always say it's on my bucket list. Maybe a road trip one day and just like hit up as many games as I can. Florida, Gator Chomp. Yeah, that would be a fun one too. For whatever reason, when I think about going to a Gators game, daytime.
That's a good point.
I don't know why.
But then you're pitching in Baton Rouge at Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
It's got to be at night, right?
Got to be nighttime. BG. I think FIFA just made Jerry put some tint on those windows. And they probably changed the name for this one. Like it's going to be called
FIFA Stadium.
FIFA Stadium.
But I don't know if that's tongue in cheek or if it's true. It could very well be. But once again, they can just close the curtains on them. That exists as a possibility.
What was like the reasoning? I don't, obviously you weren't in the room when they were making this decision, but like, why would you have a window there?
I don't know.
Like people think about that when they buy a house and you're making $1 billion stadium and you don't take a look at it. Yeah. So AT&T Stadium will be called Dallas Stadium.
No spot. Because we talked about this yesterday, right? The Gia Field in KC, Arrowhead's just going to go by Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah. And FIFA will be...
What about MetLife? Is it just going to be New Jersey Stadium?
I have no idea. Probably. I mean, following the trends. But you're right. FIFA will install curtains to block out the notoriously bright sun for the late afternoon matches, a measure historically resisted by the Dallas Cowboys management. So it's not even tinting. They're just going to put down curtains that are probably already there, which just makes too much sense that you wouldn't do it. Bees is asking, doesn't Virginia have a big naval base?
Oh, yeah, that's very big in that part of the country. Big military presence.
When I was in San Diego, we did a tour of like the harbor, and they went past some of the military ships.
Where was that at? Sorry,
San Diego.
Yeah, big naval,
huge fleet there, and they like the ships had more hospital beds than University of Alberta Hospital.
Yeah,
which like kind of makes sense, but also like it's on a boat.
When it is actually tough to comprehend when you think about the size of some of these boats. And I'm talking like the military one, sure, but even some of these like shipping vessels that are, trotting around the world at any given moment. It's tough without seeing it in person. It's tough to actually comprehend how big they are.
Oh yeah. And I was like, when I was like 13 and did it, I'm like, I don't want to learn about this. And then you get off like, oh my goodness, that's wild.
Yeah.
Something I would definitely recommend for those of you that might make the journey down there. Something else I might recommend for you out there is the Road Rage Street Hockey Tournament.
Oh.
From, May 23rd to 24th.
It's this weekend.
Where
can I watch it?
Well, you can go down to the parking lot at Service Place in St. Albert. Hundreds of kids going to be there. Today is the deadline to register. So if you're good,
we can still get a team.
If you want to get a team in there, try very quickly to do so.
I think there's an age limit though, right?
5 to 17.
Yeah. Darn.
Yeah. Well, shave the beards.
I could coach maybe.
I'm assembling a team to win this all. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a fun weekend. If you want to head down there, sports1440.com. Also, you can get more information on the sourdough raft race. Sunday, August 9th. That's not this weekend. That's a long ways away. But at Terwilliger Park, you can set sail down the North Saskatchewan on a raft of your choice or paddleboard, canoe, whatever you want to build. Not a life jacket, I don't think. Teams compete for the Admiral's Choice, the most innovative craft, best first-time entry, and the Titanic Award to win cash for the charity of their choice. Entry fee is just $10 per person. Includes a pancake breakfast, T-shirt, souvenir glass mug, and there's going to be a barbecue to follow for the participants. So not a bad idea. $10, pretty good deal. Sports1440.com. If you were building a vessel, Duke, how are you doing it?
I build it out of empty 5-gallon, or not 5-gallon, 50-gallon drums.
Yeah.
I'd use those as the base. And then lots of duct tape. Probably some power tools to get some actually good screws put in. I don't know what I'd use like on top of the drums as the base to actually stand on. Maybe like just a piece of plywood or something.
Throw like a sound system on it, maybe?
Oh, for sure.
It's
gotta
like
have a sound system.
It's a long range.
And then maybe construct like a sail so I could try and steer it slightly.
Cannons, maybe?
Wow, I don't want to get carried away. Or if I have a sound system on there, I don't think I'd have room for the cannons.
Fire the cannons.
I would just like duct tape a JBL speaker to the back of it, just blast Fetty Wap.
Yeah. Text here. Ali says, I don't want to butcher this. Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, in Madrid. That's where Barcelona plays?
FC Madrid.
FC Madrid?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
If
probably.
it's in Madrid, I doubt Barcelona plays there.
Well, they do sometimes.
Really?
Why wouldn't they?
Oh, I guess if they're playing a road game.
They play road games. Is that Real Madrid, their spot?
Maybe. That would track, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously not the home of Barcelona. But in fact, I'm sure they've played there a few times. And the Spanish national team as well. Okay. Yeah, that's a beauty. It's a beaut, Clark. 130,000. That was the record attendance. In 1956, Real Madrid versus AC Milan. Cool. Okay, we'll take a break. When we come back, more text. Let you know what's coming up on the Gregor Show and the Lowdown with Low Tide. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
New at Papa John's. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. delivery or carry out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC.
No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
When my husband and I said until death do us part, I never expected to find myself at the doorstep of divorce. I was facing an uncertain financial future, expensive lawyer bills, and most importantly, I was concerned for the well-being of my kids. My spouse and I turned to Fairway Divorce Solutions for help. Fairway walked us through a step-by-step process, allowing us to develop a clear roadmap to resolve financial concerns and provide a proactive co-parenting strategy. It helped us avoid chaos and courtrooms.
For a no-cost consultation, visit fairwaydivorce.com.
In Alberta, every family has a baseball game day tradition for the summer.
We always bring our gloves to the ballpark.
We always keep score.
We always bring Wilhock beef jerky.
Some things change, but the best home run snack never does.
Wilhock beef jerky.
Whether you're watching from your recliner or the stands, make it a part of your summer ball game tradition.
Wilhock beef jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18 plus only.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Or welcome back. It's Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brendan Douglas, Josh Fenwick. Good day, man. Just got my bread settlement. Anyone else? 49.11. I mean, I'll probably just go spend it on more bread.
I was gonna say, you're just gonna use it to buy more bread.
Yeah, keep it in the system. Big bread. That was a nice little notification.
You were saying this during the break, and I honestly am completely oblivious. Is this because keep in mind I don't have cable, so is this a commercial that I would have only seen on real TV and not via Sportsnet Plus streaming commercials, which are pretty much the same 3 commercials looped?
No, there was it was running on the radio when like our stations at Stingray had a commercial for it.
Oh, really? That's peculiar. I wouldn't have heard it because I hear every commercial of this.
It was the bread fixing settlement.
Peculiar.
Crime doesn't pay. So I'm just gonna go buy more bread.
This really quickly on the topic of commercials. No free plugs, but talking about the same 3 ones that run on Sportsnet Plus over and over again, the Instacart one. And I'm talking the full length version of it with Ben Stiller and Benson Boone when they're like singing and then Ben Stiller goes up the stairs and does the flip of it. I will laugh every time at that. I think it's hilarious. Between the actual song about like how you like your bananas and then him like getting shown up by Benson Boone doing the backflips and then just yeeting himself off the top level. I laugh every time. So well done. And like that was a Super Bowl commercial. So that thing's been around for months already. And I've seen it 1,000 times. Still gets me.
So I know the commercial you're talking about. Advertising like that maybe doesn't work so good on me. I had no idea what it was for. But I always catch the end when he does the whole yeeting himself.
Well, because
and it's hilarious.
Because the Instacart, they have like a few different variants, and that's the one that because the other one's about like getting fresh seafood, and there's a song that goes with it. I'm like, I hate this commercial. And were the previous round of these might go back to earlier in the sports season or even last summer, where it was about, or maybe it was Uber Eats, doesn't matter, about like ordering stuff for the funeral, like the cheese plate for the memorial service or something. And I didn't really get the thought process behind those ones, but this one specific commercial, I die laughing.
I've watched it 3 times since we started talking about it.
That's
so good. But this whole time I had no idea what it was for. I got to pay attention. That's on me.
Well, it's well documented. Advertising works on me. Like I'm every company's target demographic because if I just see an advertisement, I was like, I need to try that.
Yeah. You hear that new McDonald's?
Yeah, anytime. Like when these first the ads for these new specialty drinks, and you brought one in the one day, I got one that day. I had to have it, and it was really good. I got like the strawberry Coke one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good.
Very
Oh man,
tasty.
Might get one today. Beautiful afternoon. Little sweet treat.
Try the blue or the orange one.
The blue one, just the color of it alone makes me want to try it.
Yeah, it's
so vivid.
Quite nice. As I was saying before the break, we were going to tell you guys what's coming up next. You got the Lowdown with Low Tide from noon till 2. That'll be with Steve Lansky on this Friday edition. And then on the Jason Greger show, Danny Webster will join us from Colorado, of course, covers the Vegas Golden Knights. Talk a little bit about game 2. No Cale Makar for the Avs. That's huge. We'll also be joined by Wanye Gretz from Oilers Nation. Who else do we have? Low Tide, Craig Button, Speck, Cam Tate. We got some comments from the Edmonton Elks as they spoke to Greger yesterday. I believe it will be JC Sherritt and Cody Fajardo. So it'll be a fun show. Make sure you keep it locked here on Sports 1440. And then I do believe we'll have Blue Jays baseball as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Duke, I alluded to
the
it.
Buccos.
Yeah, is Skeens going to... Oh, it's Bubba tonight.
Bubba Chandler?
Bubba.
I believe Paul Skeens is set to go tomorrow.
Don't love that.
Yeah, Skeens versus Patrick Corbin tomorrow for the 1 o'clock scheduled first pitch, 107 specifically. Also heard right here on Sports 1440.
You got to assume you're going to probably just score more than 2 runs.
Probably.
That's probably a safe assessment. And again, it worked against the
Unless
Yankees.
You get opening day, Paul Skeens.
Yeah, well, then it's over in the first, right? His 97 ERA. Let's hope for it. Tomorrow, we also have the Saturday Sports setup, Hoop City with Paul Sir. So lots going on. Antoine says, boys, I have a solution to your Canon/stereo debacle. Just loop AC/DC for those about to rock and blast it on your stereo. Fire, right? Great song. Great song. Ontario Mo says, I listened to Gregor drink one of those 196 drinks on the air and immediately drove to the liquor store and bought some. Oh, you got to go see the fine folks at Sherbrooke Liquor. They actually, their website's fantastic. We had a few people like asking just randomly, hey, do you guys have insert
drink,
some sort of rum? I'm like, let me check for you. I can do it. Ontario Mose also said, boys, the Oilers should comb the league and target RFAs that would accept an offer sheet in the Holloway Broberg tier of second rounders. I'd rather pursue that than target UFAs. Don't pay them for the past, pay for the future. I think every team should do that. I'm sure they would. But is there going to be a team that has two players like that don't take care of them?
And a second rounder, I can't remember if it was on this show or with Carey's that we specifically outlined how high that salary can go. It's less than $5 million. If there's a player of that, unless you're really taking a gamble on someone, like you're doing the team a favor by setting the contract for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I know Ontario Momes has been all over. You can go back and read his text messages from the past week. He's said the same thing 9 times about Peyton Krebs or Zach Benson out of Buffalo. Krebs is a little bit more interesting because, there's a former top-end pick, but settled into a more depth role with the club. Do you want to pay Peyton Krebs that much money? And in the case of Zach Benson, you're doing the Sabres a huge favor. You're taking the negotiating power out of the player's hand all of a sudden because they can just match it. And all of a sudden it's locked in. So I understand the thought process here. And I read an article, I think it was actually Jeff Merrick, who talked about it. The Oilers maybe targeting Pavel Dorofeev out of Vegas with a big deal in the sense of that would require 2 first-round draft picks. Because when you get far enough down, like the Oilers obviously don't have a first this year, but it could be the 27 and 28 first rounders, I think, would be up for grabs. However, they would still need to recoup their own third rounder back from Nashville. So it's like the Oilers have traded away enough draft picks, period, full stop, to take your pick of what round. That offer sheeting is complicated for them. They would have to reacquire picks usually to make it happen.
I also think that just the way this all happened and how big it was with 2 players being scooped up by another team, I think that was kind of a wake-up call for GMs around the league.
Yeah, get your guys, take it. Even if, because don't quote me on this, I'm just speaking a little bit just off the top of the dome here. If you tender the player, which not everybody does all the time because of its implications if they don't end up coming to an agreement, tendering a player, it automatically eliminates them from offer sheet potential. So there's several ways that there's kind of a reason we haven't seen it very often in the existence of the salary cap era is because it's complicated to do and has implications outside of just trying to snake players away from other teams, which, as we know, via the Brian Burke and Dustin Penner fiasco, GMs in the past have not seemed very keen of doing to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a little more cutthroat these days. Vegas, for the forefront of that, at least top of mind for people now. St. Louis doing it to the Oilers a couple of years ago. I'm with you, Connor. I'd like to see it more, but I just think it's a little too complicated at times to be seen done at a big scale.
Yeah. And so the one thing for me is Duke, we're probably not going to see the over $11.9 million, which would be 4 first-round picks. Most of the time, I feel like, especially if you haven't signed them yet or haven't put whatever the tender would be on it, it's like we have enough cap space to match, right? Yeah. So as soon as you do it, you set it in. So it's like a second-round pick, but that would be between 2.3 and 4.75 million. And even we have that money ready just in case.
Even if you back the team into a corner, let's just use Buffalo as the example. So you sign Benson to the 4.8 million, and all of a sudden between that, a new deal for Krebs, and the desire to still sign Alex Tuch becomes pretty tight cap-wise for Buffalo. Well, you can exist at a certain percentage over the cap in the offseason. So if they do all that, and then they say, all right, time to make some stuff happen. We talked about maybe a potential trade of Josh Norris away. They have 3 goalies on the roster, the highest earning of which is UPL. Maybe they just decide to move on. the Oilers, by doing it as late into the offseason as they did, or having it done to them, leaving it that long, it made it a little bit more difficult because the time crunch was, because I was in mid-August.
Mm-hmm.
The start of the
Early
season,
to mid, yeah.
The start of the season is not that far away at that time. Once again, I just think that teams have gotten smarter somewhat at the cost of the Oilers and seeing how this shook down for them, losing 2 of their best young players.
You said the report for Dorofeev was 2 firsts?
I think so.
Because I think that would include a second and a third as well.
Right.
So
and
the
third is what they don't have.
That's between 9.5 and 11.9 million.
Right.
Good for him.
Hey, man, he's 30-plus goals each of the past 2 seasons. He's at 12 now in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be a $10 million player if you're talking long-term.
I think so, too. Well, that music means we are done for the weekend. I'll be back on Monday at 11 to do it all over again. Up next, got the Lowdown with Low Tide, followed by Jason Greger, Blue Jays Baseball if you're listening on the radio. And then tomorrow, the Saturday Sports Setup, Hoop City, and more Blue Jays Baseball on the AM dial. For everyone here, thank you for joining us on this show today. Check the podcast. If you missed it, head over to YouTube, Facebook. Give us a like, subscribe. We would appreciate that as well. Right now, though, let's get to a final update from the Duke, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com, only available in Leduc.
The Sports 1440 update.
NHL's Western Conference Final resuming action tonight from Mile High. Colorado trails Vegas 1-0 in the best of 7. Puck drop coming just after 6 o'clock. Cale Makar out on the Colorado blue line for a second consecutive game. World Championship action over in Switzerland this morning. Canada beat Slovenia 3-1, sit top of table in their group. Germany beat Hungary 6-2, and still to come today, Finland will play Great Britain, and the Swedes go up against Italy. Memorial Cup kicking off tonight from Kelowna, BC. The hosts Rockets will take on the OHL champion Kitchener Rangers just after 7 o'clock. And from the PWHL, Troy Ryan's time with the Toronto Septors as head coach has come to an end. He's departed the team to take over as GM and head coach of the expansion San Jose club. And the Hamilton PWHL expansion team has their first general manager as Megan Duggan, former U.S. Olympian 3 times over, will leave the New Jersey Devils front office to take over that job. In the association tonight, Oklahoma City and San Antonio go out for Game 3 of the West Final. Tip-off at 6:30 from Texas. Dylan Harper's status, currently game-time decision listed for the Spurs. And finally, in the majors today, full slate of games, including the Toronto Blue Jays kicking off a set at home against the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch coming just after 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Kevin Gausman on the bump for Toronto. You can listen to that game right here on Sports 1440. Joined in progress at the conclusion of the Jason Greger Show. Coming up on Sports 1440, it's the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Halley and Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is